Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, today continuing Baldur's Gate 3. Let's start by talking off with Harper Geraldus here.
Thank you!
No thanks necessary. Are you hurt?
I'm alive. That's more than the others can say. You're the one High Harper Jaheira sent.
I am. I'm here to help.
Oh, thank the gods. You're the first friendly face I've seen in days. Old Danthelon included. The others, they're all dead. Or scattered. Jaheira sent word of the victory over Ketheric. Set us hunting after the cultists in the city, but they were the ones hunting us. Things were quiet. Until we started to ask about the Rashomar.
Who is this Rashomar? What does Jaheira want with them?
The High Harper didn't tell you. Perhaps it's not my place. Just tell her this. I can't continue the hunt. Whatever the cult has done with the Rashomar, they do not want him found.
So one of our journal entries updated. The High Harper. We should see what Jaheira wants to do next. Okay. So we'll go back and we'll talk with Jaheira after a long rest. And honestly, that long rest is coming at a good time. Because we have expended a lot of resources.
Can't slow down.
Kill order. You won't have to wear those Harper smiles much longer. Orin has given the order. Kill the crone, but not before you tell her how her little soldiers died. Preserve some hair or sinew if you can. The Chosen would like to string a harp of her own.
No one's stopped me yet.
What's this? Destroyed cage door. Fascinating. Surveillance notes. Interesting. The city's Harpers appear to operate independently, each separate cell feeding into a ranking member who oversees the larger network. It's an effective method distributing their efforts and ensuring that each unit is safeguarded against the infiltration of the others. But once already compromised, this structure is their greatest weakness, with no individual Harper being able to tell where the contamination began and how far it has spread. And so while they scramble to rebuild themselves, we carry on with the Chosen's work. Okay, good stuff. Here, a little bit more loot. Okay. So did Danthalion know that? Let's go talk with Danthalion.
What? By the Morden Sammel's curlies went on down there.
Our Harpers turned out to be shapeshifter assassins.
Of course. Of course they bloody did. Clear out then. I'm guessing I have some tidying to do before the steel watch squeals by.
That's it? No more questions asked?
I've had enough dealings with Harpers to know I don't want the answers. Go on now.
Thanks, Danthalion. I feel bad for him, actually, right? He was innocent in all of it.
You are not wearing armor to meet my mother and father.
What's this place?
The Velveteen Elixir.
Amazing. I mentioned this place in yesterday's video because it seemed like it'd be a really cool place to go into and explore. So let's see how this goes.
Now here's someone who appreciates the finer things. Welcome, sir.
Nice. Let's talk with Stylen Horst.
Stop. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Now you've just sampled some of Baldur's Gate's finest incense. Delicious, no?
Glorious. Those are some heady top notes.
Aren't they just? You clearly have excellent taste. What can I do for you, sir?
Quite the establishment you have here.
I must say I'm rather proud of it. The wood paneling cost a fortune, but it's so worth it for the luxe atmosphere it provides.
What have you got in stock?
Everything alchemical from potions to poisons. Just do make sure you read the label before quaffing.
Oh, this will be really cool. Supreme Elixir of Arcane Cultivation. Invisibility, Sea Invisibility, Oil Bane, Wizard's Bane, Arsonist. So he has mostly like Featherfall. We would love this animal speaking one. So let's go ahead and actually grab that. We'll also grab this elixir. I think that should be good for now. Okay, and we'll sell the rest of our stuff. Actually wasn't that much stuff altogether, but that's okay. I thought there might be more of a selection, but it's still really good.
Be sure to savor each purchase.
Thanks, Stylen. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Our next path leads us to this place over here. And as you can see here, we want to progress through the lower city over there, right? But before we do that, we're going to go for a much needed long rest. So that's going to start by fast traveling back here. I think we can probably... Or we can just rest in this shop here. Why not?
Good. At least things have stayed interesting.
So let's go for a long rest. Yes. And we also want to talk with Jaheira at the camp. So we'll talk with actually everybody at the camp because it's been a while since we've long rested, so that should be really good. What is this?
Queen Vlaakith. Skra!
You are a Charlotte, and still you speak my name.
I've seen the captive Orpheus with my own eyes. Spoken to Shestil Kithrak Voss. You lied to us. Enslaved us.
The betrayer Voss lies! I have only a moment, and you, Hashalak, will listen. We are Githyanki. We move mountains. We snuff out stars. We shake the plains. The traitor Voss has lied to you. The heretic prince would shatter us in an instant. The great Dominion shrunk to the head of a pin.
Can this be true? Is the Githyanki prince really a threat to his own people? Or simply a challenge to Vlaakith's rule?
Return to the astral prism. Slay Orpheus the Pretender. Serve me, and I will ascend you. You will be no mere warrior, nor Kithrak. You will be Barta Vlaakith, commander of dragons. My only, my chosen. A final chance. Kneel before me. Make your promise.
Lae'zel's thoughts become yours. The sight of Orpheus looms over her mind. Voss's words echo within it. She means to forever turn her back on Vlaakith.
We could say persuasion. Kneel, Lae'zel, to be the god queen's chosen is an extraordinary honor. Or wisdom. Connect with Lae'zel's parasite, commander of dragons, this is your destiny. We could keep silent, or what we will do, which is stand your ground, don't fall for Vlaakith's lies.
I gave you my faith, and you called me traitor. I gave you my life, and you ordered your knights to hunt me. I have witnessed too much, and you have given me too little. Finally, I can see. Orpheus will live, and I will hear his creed. This is my word.
Your word is nothing! You are nothing! The Kithraki will bring you. I will tear your flesh from your bones and devour your skull's marrow while you beg for death. I will consume you. I will unmake you.
Wow, that was awesome. So before we go to bed, let's talk with everybody here at the camp. Karlach seems to have something to say. Let's talk with her. And so will Jaheira, without a doubt.
Soldier, my engine. It hurts. I think this might be it. Soon. Things burning hotter than I knew it could. But look, we've just about made it to the city. That'll do me. Let's go protect it. Whatever happens after that is between me and the so-called gods.
You don't think we'll find you a cure?
With this heat going, I can't spare the energy to think. I just want to enjoy whatever's left of this life of mine. Anyway, it could be worse. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. With who I'm meant to be with. How many people can say that?
What about Karlach's quest? Are we not able to save her? We should be able to. We learned that this could be Karlach's chance to confront him. Okay, it literally just says talk with Gortash, so confront Gortash, so we need to do that.
What now?
Next is Jaheira.
We just played host to an undying queen. Oh, and that's without our fine silverware. Lae'zel has courage turning her back on a lifetime's belief. As for us, best we stay out of interplanar politics, I think. Orpheus is on his own. But should Great Vlaakith come to settle a score with Lae'zel, well, I might be convinced to kill her. Undying or not, she was very loud.
How are you faring without your harpers?
You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles.
I'd like to hear more about those old days.
Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in.
Let's say, tell her what happened at the Harper safe house. Continue.
Until we know who the false facers are, we cannot trust anyone beyond ourselves.
So let's start with, who is this Rashomar you had your Harper searching for?
A shame of mine. Redoubled because I did not tell you everything sooner. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashomon?
The name is as familiar as Jaheira's own. A hero of the time of troubles, who saved the city more than once.
We could say, he traveled with you back in the old days. Or just get to the point. Or what we will say, which is Baldurian. There isn't a Baldurian alive who doesn't know that name. So that character, Minsk, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is voiced by Matthew Mercer. So I'm going to replace Lae'zel with his character once we find him. I know it's near the end of the game, but I'm still really excited because I just think it'd be really cool to play Dungeons and Dragons alongside Matt Mercer, and it's like, this is like the role-playing way of experiencing that. So I'm so grateful to Larian Studios for making this happen. So let's pick the Baldurian option here and keep going.
But few know of his fate, I think. I had hoped to keep it that way. Minsk is an old friend. Perhaps my oldest. We've fought at one another's backs times beyond counting. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die.
What happened?
Before we ever heard of this Absolute, we received word of a gathering in the Undercity. What we found was the first dark seed of this plot. A circle of cultists with mind flayers in their midst. We might have ended it there, cut off at the root, but before I could send for help, Minsk charged in alone. It was chaos. He was overrun, dragged down beneath a mass of tentacles. I had a choice. Stay and let word of this cult die with us, or leave him and live to fight another day.
We'll say, I'm sorry, Jaheira. That's a cruel choice to have to make.
The world takes much from those who presume to defend it. But sometimes, you get to take it back. So don't be sorry, because I mean to use you, if you're willing. Infection, indoctrination, eradication. That has been the fate of everyone the cult has captured so far. But it has not been yours. With your help, perhaps it need not be Minsk's either.
Why are you only telling me this now?
Because I was playing the pragmatist, and writing my friend off for dead. Then I met you. If I seem suddenly flush with hope and soft feeling, you have only yourself to blame. Oh, the point is moot without a means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. I'll have a better idea of what that is once we're through the gates. Seems I need to reacquaint myself with this damned city.
Incredible. So if we look at the quest now, find Minsk. Jaheira's Harper rendezvous turned out to be an ambush by doppelgangers. She revealed that she was hoping for information on an old friend who was taken by the cult, Minsk of Rashemen. She will search out a new way to find him once we reach the lower city. Astarion.
So, Lae'zel's finally seen the light and turned on her mistress. It took a little time, but she got there. Though it's not over yet. Masters rarely let their slaves go without a fight.
Speaking of which, oh, okay, never mind. I didn't know if Astarion knew that those two people invited us to go to Cazador's ritual. So, yeah. Hey, we can talk with Grubb and Yenna. That's really cool. I didn't see them there. And there's Lae'zel and Will as well. So let's keep chatting with everybody. Let's save here. Yenna?
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
What harm? She's little, won't take up much space, or make much of a dent in our provisions.
Of course you can stay, Yenna. Pick a spot and settle in.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
You're very... Yenna seems like such a nice person. Can we talk with Grubb? Yes, we can. Here we go.
Please, don't look at me.
Okay, Grubb. You take care. Next, we talk with Lae'zel.
It is done. There is no going back. As long as the Undying Queen reigns, I am never to soar unbound over the astral sea, never to cross the one in the void. As it should be. Better a short life built on truth than immortality woven of lies. Better to unite the Githyanki under a prince who would free their minds and honor their bodies. So why do I feel so bitter?
We could say, wisdom, connect with Lae'zel's parasite and explore the furthest reaches of her emotions. Instead, I will go with insight. Consider Lae'zel's past and present. What is the true source of her resentment? So let's save here. With Rapture, that's really useful. You pretty much got it. Yeah.
Vlaakith has upended Lae'zel's whole existence. Everything she knew to be true, every plan and aspiration she ever held has been painfully ripped away. Lae'zel's bitterness is born of sadness. She is mourning the loss of the person she once was, and can never be again.
You're grieving the future you'll never have. Vlaakith took everything from you.
How well you've come to know me. But in truth, she didn't take everything. I have what I have gathered for myself. I'm moored to a new regent, a new land, and new allies. Vlaakith cannot unmake she who no longer exists. And so, from the old battle cries is birthed another. Shma Salar Orpheus, Ma Stilna Forgin in Yeri. Orpheus's will above all. May the comet blaze my path forward.
You've been quick to pledge yourself to Orpheus's cause. What about your own needs and wants?
Orpheus's freedom is my want and my need. To deny his freedom would be to deny my own. There will come a time When I can think about myself beyond the Lich Queen who enslaves the Githyanki, and the Prince who would liberate them. But that time won't come until the Prince of the Comet flies again.
What's next?
We take the Orphic Hammer from Raphael's lair. Orpheus Tafki Nazin.
Okay, I'll head out. Thanks, Lae'zel. That was fun. Now we'll talk with Will, the Blade of Frontiers.
Men, women, children, all barred from entry. A damn travesty. A decade ago, Baldur's Gate would have welcomed any and everyone seeking refuge. Who would take in these souls, if not the Jewel of Baldurin?
We could say, what a shame, Baldur's Gate has a responsibility to people in need. Or perhaps we can reason with the leadership, or the refugees can go elsewhere. A city in crisis has the right to secure itself. Or what we will say, which is, Baldur's Gate was a safe refuge when I left. This must be Gortash's doing.
As long as Gortash is in charge, they'll be left shivering at the gates. All part of the plan, of course. Step 1. Create an army and order it to march on the city. Step 2. Shut the gates in the name of security. Step 3. Bask in the applause. Gortash hasn't made Baldur's Gate safe. He's made it a prison. And when his army breaks through, the people will have nowhere to run. To make this city a safe haven, we'll need to bathe Gortash and his allies in their own blood.
It seems Grand Duke Stelmane's been murdered. Do you know her at all?
I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
Let's go ahead and say, Persuasion, I sense there's something more to this story. Let's save here.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say.
Gone before her time. It sounds like, what a tragedy.
Not a tragedy, a calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, he must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
Thanks, Will. Wow, the statue. The true hero of Baldur's Gate. That is so cool, man. So we have everybody here that we can talk to. We'll talk with Shadowheart last. So let's first talk with Dame Aelin.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome.
How do you intend to spend your newfound freedom?
I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help.
Thanks, Dame. Isabel?
Keeping very well, I hope?
Yes. What will you do now that your father's gone?
Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies, for life.
I'd like to know what happened between you and your father, Ketheric.
I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... and this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. He told me we'd be together now. Said Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors that plagued my home. He's gone now. But I suppose the man I knew died when I died. The man he became, that wasn't the father I knew. The one I loved so very much.
I'd heard that before, so probably didn't need to hear that. But she spoke so well, that's why I wanted to hear it again. And that's where I'll go ahead and end the video there for this week. I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light to be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.